Fortnite have massively changed their stance on the movement in Chapter 5. Originally, they made a tweet saying that they hear the complaints from the community, but they're gonna stick with the movement the way it is and then hope that people get used to it, and it's just them not liking it because it's new. But they then came out a few days later and made this statement. Oh hi, back with another movement update. We're currently exploring a few options to speed things up while keeping the fresh new animations. They said they were aiming to roll these out in the coming weeks, but it only took them a couple days. Last night's Lego update dropped, and with it was a change to the movement. You'll now notice there is a difference in your walking speed, which has been one of the main complaints about the movement in Chapter 5. The sprint regenerates faster, and while you're sprinting around, you feel quite quick. As much as I don't really like the new FOV change, but it is what it is. The walking speed was the big issue. A lot of people saying that when their sprint runs out, they feel like they're just walking through mud. You should be noticing a difference in this now as well. You also turn faster while walking. So it's only taken Epic 2 days, and they're already making pretty large changes to the movement for Chapter 5. And it looks like they're going to continue to do more of this over the coming weeks. So it looks like we're not going to revert back to the original movement. There is just no chance that is happening, but Epic is hearing the complaints and are working on improving movement in Chapter 5. One thing that I think would really help the community's overall view on the movement and start to come around on it, whether you don't like the new movement, whether you love it, I think it's just making sure that the in-game movement in the actual game is the same as creative. If you jump in creative right now, try to practice and play around with the new movement, you probably think, oh, it's not that bad. I'm still moving pretty quick. You know, my strafing is still decent. There are some parts of it that do look goofy. I know when people are hitting free builds now, it kind of looks like they're playing Roblox, or that 1v1 map on the website that is just like a kind of rip-off of Fortnite. I get it. Looks a little bit goofy, but it's honestly not that bad. But it's very, very different to the in-game movement. Right now, unless you have custom matchmaking so you can just load up your own game of Fortnite to jump in and practice the movement, you're kind of having to practice while being sweated on with players in a brand new season. I get that. That's how a lot of people learn. But a lot of people would also love to jump in creative and start to practice some of these new movement, because whether you love or hate it, there are a lot of things you can do with the new movement you couldn't do before. It's not all negatives. It's not all doom and gloom. And while I understand a lot of players losing a lot of muscle memory they've worked on for years kind of reduces the skill gap, I think a lot of these new movement techs that you could do would actually increase the skill gap in a lot of ways. And I think a great example of that is It's MMFN, who posted this on Twitter, a super cool sprint high ground retake that you can now do. All you do is, instead of side jumping onto a stair or a floor, you can now actually sprint and side jump around your cone and land on top of it. This is incredibly strong, and it's really, really easy to do. Honestly, I was practicing a little bit and it's not actually that hard. So I think if people could actually jump into creative and get more of an exact movement difference between in-game and creative, people would start to take these changes a lot easier. So I really hope we're going to see that soon. But a lot of people are actually predicting that we are potentially seeing the movement in-game get closer and closer to creative, because creative from the start has been a little bit faster. So if Epic is looking to speed up their movement, that might be the direction we're going in. Now, I talked about the Lego update at the start of this video. Of course, I'm going to be talking about it. The new Lego game mode dropped yesterday, and it is a massive success, to the point where at a certain point it had over 3 times the amount of players as Battle Royale. I checked, the Lego game mode had over 2.2 million people playing it, and the regular Battle Royale had 600,000. That is ridiculous. The Lego game mode has already peaked at over 2 million players, whereas the zero build Battle Royale game mode hasn't even peaked over 1.5 million. I know this game mode just came out, but that is absolutely ridiculous. And this proves what the future of Fortnite is, and that's what Epic Games has been saying for a while now. It is not just the Battle Royale. Fortnite is going to be a hub for all these different games, all these different experiences, and Battle Royale is just one of them. You can see this with the popularity of different creative maps popping up and how insane they're doing. But we haven't had a game mode pull over 2 million players. I'm pretty sure it's going to peak at over 3 million by the time this video is done recording, or by the time you guys watch it. The player base is looking insane. Now, I jumped into the game mode myself and gave it a try, and it's honestly beautiful. Unfortunately, with me having the joystick that I play on and having a bunch of weird keybinds because I use this for my thumb, it was a bit weird. There's a lot of keybinds, unfortunately, I could not change. They were default, and it made playing it feel a little bit clunky. Now, a lot of people are comparing this to Minecraft, and honestly, it does have a very like Minecraft-esque feel to it, maybe combined with a bit of Zelda, because it is an open world survival map. But the fact that these worlds are procedurally generated, so they're always going to be different, has been really fun. I'm going to be playing this a whole bunch with my wife, who doesn't really play much Fortnite, because it is such a fun, cool, unique experience. And I know it's very, very similar to Minecraft, but even with that, there's going to be a lot of players who want to play this more than Minecraft, and it's free. The fact that you can download this and just play it for free without buying anything is insane. Like, these kind of games and these kind of collabs are going to be the future of Fortnite. If you've been loving the game mode or you're wondering how it's going to survive, if it's going to fall off, which obviously it's not going to hold 3 million players consistently, it's just not that kind of a game, Epic Games have been hiring devs specifically for the Lego game mode. Their entire job will be to develop and improve the Lego game mode. So I don't think this game mode is going anywhere. It's still going to pull hopefully hundreds of thousands of players like months down in the future, especially if they start dropping big updates. But a whole bunch of creators jumped on a bunch of people from other games, and honestly, it looks like it's being received really, really well. So I'm super happy with how this is going so far. We do have the Rocket Race game mode dropping today as of you watching this video. This is a game mode that got a little bit less hype, but again, it looks really, really well made, looks really, really well polished, and just a free version of essentially Trackmania with kind of a bit of a Mario Kart vibe to it is going to be pretty awesome as well. The fact that you can play all of this for free as a 30-year-old gamer is insane to me. Outside of the Lego update, there wasn't too much in this first update of the week. The two major changes were the movement and also adding bunkers to no builds instead of bushes. I think will be really, really good for no builds competitive ahead of our first major no build tournaments today. We have the solo victory cups and the duo no build victory cups today. And after watching the evaluation cup, which took place a few days ago, I'm really excited for the competitive meta this season. I haven't talked too much about it, and I might wait until after the solo victory cup to kind of give more of an insight. There are obviously a few issues. The medallions are extremely strong. Being able to pop med kits in the middle of a 10-tick zone and you can pop 6 of them without dying is a little bit of an issue, but across the board, I am really, really enjoying competitive this season. I think I'm more excited for it than I was OG Fortnite. OG Fortnite just became a Rift to Go fest. It pretty much was just Rift to Go, fly, land, tarp, Rift to Go, land, fly, tarp, heal off, win. It was really, really boring in my opinion. So I'm very excited to see how competitive plays out this season. Again, if you want to swing by my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Aussie Antics, I'm going to be live all day today watching all the solo victory cups and checking out the meta, and it looks really, really fun.